morning, folks. We're heading out. Sunny day, but cool. I think the temperature is going to get up to a high of about 65. Started out with 30 degrees this morning. It was below freezing. No ice though in the cockpit on pots and pans that I had out here with some water in them. They didn't freeze, but it did get down to 30. Pretty cold in the 41 when I got up in the cabin. 41's pretty cool. So I stoked up the heater and let it warm up while I got back in bed for a little bit. And then I was just pulling away this morning. Finally left about 9:45. I was late by about half an hour because the rancher came down with a couple of kids. They were out fixing the fence and saw the boat and came down to visit and make sure I was okay. So I invited the two kids aboard because I figured they'd want to see the boat. Actually, I wasn't even tied up. I had the motor running, just holding it against the floor. So we did that, showed them around and shook hands and got a little information from each other about what we were doing. And younger guy, I suppose, late 30s, maybe early 40s, maybe actually mid 30s, probably mid to late 30s. The kids were pretty young. So. Anyway, the day is beautiful. I just hope we get more days like this because it's been cloudy and cold the last about 4 days. I'm making good time today. We're kind of up out of the Missouri River now. We're in the Cheyenne River. Well, we're planning to go up kind of to the end. There may be some kayaking up there. I haven't really seen anything that's been decent kayaking. When the river comes in there, there may be a little more interesting paddling. That's subject to change because I'm seeing so many boats today. I've seen 7 fishing boats, about 3 times more than I saw all week. I don't know if there's a tournament going on or if they're just out because it's a Sunday. I don't know. But there is public ramp down this way, and I'm not sure if that's where they're launching from. They could be launching from back on the Missouri, but they could also be launching up here. The problem is the water's so low that it looked to me like those launch ramps were not usable, but it may be deceptive on the map. So anyway, I'm going to go down and take a look. If I'm too busy there, then I'll move up into one of the bays running inlets off the river. Show you a little bit what we got here. There's this is the Cheyenne coming in from here and over into the Missouri. This is the Missouri. And you can see several inlets there where I could take cover for overnight. But my plan is to go down about right here. This is really shallow in here. And there's 2 channels, one on this south side, one on the north side, that are deep enough. So I'm thinking of trying that and see if I can enlarge it here. This little inlet right there is where I'm thinking of going. And then I could paddle either this. You can see there's a way to get there and a way to get here. And then the back here's, whoops, here's the ramps right here. But as you can see, they're up in the yellow area, and I don't know that they can access the water because it's so low. So I'm attempting to just get close and then maybe paddle along that creek bed. So I'm aiming into here. But we'll see. When we get there, it may not look very good. And if all the boat traffic's using this channel, then I'm not going to go there. But it'll be hard to tell until I get there. So anyway, that's what I'm doing for now. You probably saw I'm moving along at about 6.5 knots, and gone 4.2 miles already. I think the distance today will be close to yesterday, about 12 miles, I think. So I'm a third of the way through the day, and it's 10:30 in the morning. That's Central Time. Actually, I'm technically Mountain Time now, but I'm not going to change over. Anyway, that's enough for now. Folks, this afternoon I'm at a tie-up here in a shallow little inlet, trying to get out of the potential wind out of the southeast and clocking around to the southwest tomorrow morning. It turns out this may not have been the best choice because the wind has picked up a little more than expected out of the east, and although I'm behind a kind of a hill over here to the east, I think the wind is following the river coming around the bend and giving me some waves off the stern. So I had the kayak banging against the stern and had to untie that yoke, move it ashore so that it's not banging against the boat. Right now the waves aren't big enough to be a concern, but I'm hoping that that doesn't last through the night. I'm not sure why there's the waves coming in. The wind also seemed to be picked up from the forecast speed. They were talking, just very light winds, almost calm. And that's really what I found this morning coming over here. This afternoon, the wind picked up when the wind started switching around. Maybe that won't last. We'll see into the evening here. Right now, I'm just having a glass of wine, waiting to make dinner. It's a little early yet. I just finished the dishes that are behind me. I was a little fooled because the temperature on my gauge here said it was 72 or something like that, which didn't seem right. Didn't seem like it warmed up that much. Well, then I went out to wash the dishes and I found out that it was just because the temperature sensor up on the bow was, there was a lot of sunlight against that canopy up there, the bimini, generating more heat than I thought. So I moved the temperature gauge to the stern and it dropped to 60. So that's about where I thought it was. So I'm just relaxing, waiting for dinner. I'm having chicken tonight, chicken, mashed potatoes, salad, roll, and wine. So I'm looking forward to that, but I'm not hungry enough yet to make it. There's a lot of firewood here, and I could make a fire this evening, but I'm not sure I'm going to do that. It tends to keep me up late at night if I make a fire, because once you start it, you need to stay there and watch it until it burns down. It's pretty safe around here. It's all pretty much clay soil and rock, so there's nothing that can burn, but nevertheless, I usually watch it until it's pretty much, safe. Other than that, I don't have any music. I don't know if I mentioned that before. My Pandora died on me. I think they have some kind of a deal where if you don't go online soon enough, then they'll shut you down. I don't know how they can record, how they can keep track of that remotely, but they do. It's built into the software, I guess. So I have no music, and it's driving me nuts here. I'm listening to audiobooks until I'm blue in the face. Fortunately, I have some, so I have enough to probably keep me through the trip here, but I'd like to have some music, and usually I do. This is the first time I've been without. I'm going to have to pay more attention to that particular glitch in the future. Be aware of that. If you download either, I don't know if Spotify is the same, but Pandora will shut you down if you haven't listened online. Who knows what the period of time is. I had been using downloads quite a bit when I've been out working where the boat is stored because there's not good cell coverage, so I usually will use the offline mode, and I suppose that's what got me in trouble. But be aware of that if you download music for either Pandora or Spotify.